I am so excited to bring to you your next speaker. Thank you. Can we turn the music off, please? To bring to your next speaker. We spoke on the phone for an hour, again. Some people, we spent a little bit more time, and Laurina's microphone needs to come up. She needs to be on and higher, because that one's not as loud. Red. Okay, push a button. Oh, we're green. There you go. Okay.
Ooh,
and we had an opportunity to speak, and we could have been on the phone, I really believe, a lot longer. A lot longer. And I was on the phone to interview her, to get to know her, so I knew how we were going to have this conversation going today. And at the end of it, I do what I believe in my business. My business is called Ignite Your Life, and I truly believe that I hold the light for women when they cannot hold it for themselves. And that I shared that with you. And for some reason, I felt the need to hand my light to Laurina and showed her, this is what my vision looks like. Do you remember having this conversation?
I do.
I said, I need to pass my light on because I need someone else to hold mine for me when I can't hold it for myself. And most of the time I can, but it gets difficult once in a while. I mean, we're all human, right? So I shared my light with her, and I said my purpose to ignite women's lives is, and we talked a little bit more, and I showed her what the image and everything looked like. And so now she's holding that space for me. Today, we're going to do that for you again. We're going to show you what that's going to look like. And Laurina and I are going to have a conversation about that and how that can feel in your body. Does everybody want to feel their body? All right, I have a website for you. No, never mind. All right, Laurina, let's take off, girl. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, thank you so much, and thank you everybody for being here. Thank you. It is a pleasure and a gift. A little bit about myself. Boy, I've got to tell you, I'm probably right along with all the rest of the speakers and authors with their life stories. I feel like I've lived probably about 5 lifetimes in my 57 years. Yes.
She gets a whoop for that, by the way.
Yes, thank you everybody also. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And I have 2 daughters, 35 and 37, that live in Chicago. I've been an empty nester for quite some time, but some of the things that I've gone through that have allowed me to do the job that I do today with each and every one of my clients happens to be because of all the incidents that were created that I had a part in as I was growing up. I'm an incest survivor, and it started about the age of 2. And it just kind of continued, you know, thank you, my uncle. But you know something, you know what's really, really important there is that I don't have any more emotional charge around it. I'm neutral. Because I know that everything that I have gone through allows me to sit with another person, and when they tell me something of that nature, I know they're going to make it through. I know what it felt like as well, and that's how I help them. I've been in poverty. I have also gotten married very, very young. I'm a high school dropout. I didn't finish school because I was being sexually harassed by the teachers. 2 of them, as a matter of fact, 1 male, 1 female. Very interesting. So I just turned around, and 6 months before I needed to graduate, I said, you know, I'm out of here. I don't need this. I've got this all together. And that's when I started going to work. Well, got married at 18. Had my first baby, Lisa, when I was 19. My second one when I was 21. My second daughter, Michelle, is mentally handicapped. And ended up then getting divorced at the age of 26. I was single parent for 12 years, remarried, and decided to go back to school at 38. So anybody who wants to go back to school, I highly recommend it. And let me tell you, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I was 38. So, you know, if anybody here is having really difficult times figuring out what their vision is, it's okay. It will come to you. I promise, it will come to you. It's just locked in your heart. So then I was married for 13 years and decided, okay, well, that was really good. I'm out of here. So, and I've been divorced for 7 years now, and loving my life, and it's been good. And I'm telling you, I create the best people in my life now. I am just loving it. So, and part of that process, going back to school, when I was 38, I had to go and get my diploma from high school. And then I found out, oh, I only had like 6 classes. I could take those 6 classes, and I could apply them to an associate's degree. I went, oh. Now, mind you, I have to tell you, I was making 6 figures. I was selling fine printing paper to begin with, because I had a family to take care of, and I was getting no child support. So I had 2 daughters to take care of and raise. So I ended up doing fine printing paper that then catapulted me into the printing industry. So I started selling printing. So I was doing pretty good in that. However, there was something missing inside of me. I think that every one of you have had that moment where you're doing pretty good. You know, life is feeling all right. Yeah, you're getting it, right? But there's something empty on the inside. Something that you haven't tapped into. And boy, I've got to tell you, I went on a search for it. Well, I went back to school. I did the associates. Then I transferred all my credits and everything into a liberal arts college, and I got my bachelor's in social work. Yay, Allison, I'm with you there, with a psych minor, because what I realized is that I love helping people. I absolutely love it. It sings to my soul. If I can awaken somebody and make them feel good, I was one of the world's best cheerleaders, even after all the stuff that I have gone through. My parents, you know, my mom, oh, unfortunately. I mean, she's a love, she's a dear, but I am telling you, you could count the welt marks on my legs when I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Screaming, yelling in the household all the time. The bottom line is I wouldn't have changed it. All of that made me who I am today. But through it all, I always had this smile on my face because I knew that there was something greater that I was going to be doing. I had no clue what it was, but there was a smile on my face, a determination in my soul, and nothing was going to stop me. And I know for a fact that everyone here is exactly the same way, or you wouldn't be sitting in this room. Give yourself a round of applause, please. Absolutely. Because there's nobody sitting in this spot here that doesn't have the power within them and the drive to be able to succeed, to take whatever vision it is that you have right now and be able to take that to the next level. So, let me get back. I graduated. I lived in Westminster, Maryland. I graduated with a magna cum laude in my bachelor's, which catapulted me into an advanced standing in my master's program in social work, moved to Aurora, Illinois, got that little puppy done in 1 year, and I was then doing therapy in the addictions field. So I have been in this field, the therapeutic field, for 15 years. Well, that was perfect, wonderful. I just love my addicts and my alcoholics because they add so much to my life. They are absolutely, if you want a real challenge, work with them, one of them. I've got to tell you, resistance, resistance, resistance. However, when you finally get through and they see who they really are, because all they're doing is searching for something on the inside of them, they're searching for love, honey, and they don't know how to get it. All they know how to do is fight and fight and fight, and they're going to fight anything and everything all around them while they're still searching for that love. So it was great ground for me to be able to then expand. But what I realized is that there was so much more of me, and I couldn't do it if I was working in the agency. There was a spiritual part of me, one that really connected with God, and even greater, spirit within. And I could not allow that to come out if I was still working in the agency. So that's when I decided to work with Debbie Ford. Debbie Ford is a renowned New York bestseller author and speaker and trainer and coach, and I worked with that woman. I know her intimately for 7 years. I took her very first coaching class, opened up my own private practice using her coaching modality. And then took her second master's class as well, did teleclasses, teleseminars, and I absolutely loved it. Went to California many times, helped facilitate her workshops, followed her around to do book signings, and it was all wonderful. However, I didn't believe that my clients were getting all of the success that was available to them because there was still more of me that I had not tapped into. That part of me was the energy. I knew that I had like this really wild energy. I mean, I walk into a place and I go, wow. Anybody know that? Absolutely. A lot of people here. Wow, you open up. The only problem is that when you don't know how to direct your energy, you blow people away and they don't like being around you very much. So you're not really helping them. So that's when I ended up coming back and deciding I have to learn how to channel this, you know, and be comfortable in it. Because if you're not comfortable in who you are, it's really, really tough to connect with anybody else outside of ourselves. So in understanding that, I'd like to talk about my topic.
Oneness.
Oneness. Oneness. And the other thing that I like to do is that I love to walk around in my oneness. I love to feel my oneness with you and with you and with you because, as you all know, we have heard it. How often? We are all one. How many of you are really feeling it? How many of you are really tapping into that feeling of oneness within you? Or are you only up in your head? And that's the difference. So often what happens is that we're up here and we're running around in our heads. And our heads are talking to us, and you know something? Guess what? They're not always telling us the truth, are they? They freaking lie to us all the time. They tell us, oh, God, you're not good enough. You'll never make it. You don't know what in the world they're talking about. Oh, you can never get out of this. Oh, you're stuck. Well, I got to tell you, you got to get out of this head. Because what happens is that we direct our energy via our attention and our breath. So if you've got this thing running, it's called spin thinking. Anybody know what I'm talking about? If you're up here and you got all your attention up here and you're spinning and spinning and spinning, it's growing because whatever you put your attention on grows. So it's growing even more. And then before you know it, you are so disconnected from your body, your intuition, your internal energy field that you end up totally confused. You don't know where you're going. Sometimes you totally lose your balance. Like, anybody walk into things? Drop things? Right, because you're not present. You're not in that oneness with yourself.
So, Laurina, can I ask you a question? Because oneness is all about today's topic, which is vision. So, how does somebody know that being in oneness? How can they connect to that and helping them with their vision?
Well, oneness, as not only do we feel oneness, I mean, we did a great exercise this morning where we were putting our hands on another's heart and feeling, right? And looking into the eyes of the soul. That's the number one. And sometimes that other person can help us identify what that vision is. Because they might not see it because they can see into your soul where sometimes you're just stuck in your head and the answers aren't in there. When you connect and start taking ownership of your oneness on the inside and also your vision, you can feel it. But this is what's so important. You've got to get out of the head. You have to get back into your body and understand what that body is telling you. And it's very simple to understand it. It's either contracted or expanded. If it's a yes, expansion, feels good. If it's a no, it's contracted, doesn't feel good. So it's really important to come and connect with that vision on the inside. Now, one of the ways that you can do that is by, we're going to do a little exercise. Is that cool?
It's
All
good.
right.
Then we'll go on to the next question so they can connect it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What I'd like everybody to do is identify what an empowerment is within you. What you know your empowerment is. I want everybody to feel that. And when you get it, raise your hand. Come on, everybody. What is something that you know that is empowering about yourself? You have no doubt about it. Great. Now, I want you to be able to, what does that feel like? What does it feel like to be empowered? Heaven. I want you to have your own description. What does it feel like to have that empowerment? Now I want you to feel it in the body. Where does that feeling live in the body? Where do you feel it? For me, it is strength. I feel very strong. And I feel it in my arms. So I want everybody to put your attention. Magnetize that energy in your empowerment, in the feeling within your body. Because that's what we need to do. It's your internal energy field. The more that you have the ability of internalizing, feeling, magnifying that which is on the inside, the more you're going to manifest it on the external energy grid. The more Source is going to understand what it is that you really want and where you're going with that.
So Laurina, when people are thinking about their vision, because this is what we've been talking about all day, and they're connecting, so now we're going to talk about, they've got the vision, and they can feel it in their body. When will they recognize that that could potentially be what their ultimate calling is supposed to be?
This is how you do it. When you have that vision and you're feeling it in the body, it leaves a vibrational frequency that resonates on the inside. Your vibration, your energy field, internal energy field, is always vibrating. You're always creating and attracting from that vibrational level. So it's an understanding and feeling that vibrational level that all of a sudden you start getting these signs, this calling, where you already know. It's deep within you. It vibrates. You keep getting messages all the time. You're creating from that place. Sometimes we don't even know that we're creating from it because we're so busy up here in our heads. That's why it's important to come on back down. Get back down into your internal energy field. Start feeling the truth that happens on that. Align with your truth.
Would you find sometimes when we get in the head, this is where the obstacles start to happen, right? And they can get in the way. They can really, we've talked about it all day, about all these obstacles. So now we're in our head, and there's all these obstacles. What would you recommend they can do to get out of that, get centered, so that they can allow that vision to soar?
Well, one of the things that we have to do is say, okay, what are the obstacles? Right. Okay, as we all know, fear is number one. Guess what the other one is? Judgment. Judgment. Judgment feels good. And you're always pointing the finger all the time out here. But what really is important is identifying what it is that you're pointing the finger at and where it lives in you. You know, we go back to oneness again, and that oneness is on the inside. Everything you do is an internal energy field. So as you're feeling on the inside, notice who shows up for you. Notice whether or not they feel good or they don't feel good, because that is the real core there. Everyone is a mirror. David Icke, I love this guy, and he came back and he said, you know, how many people don't like what they see out here? Okay, and everybody's a mirror. So we stand up, we go up to the mirror, and we take a look at the mirror, and we pick up our comb, and we start combing the mirror. Never works. It's all an inside job. Everything is an inside job. And that creates that oneness, and the oneness with your vision. And when you start tapping into that energetic field, magnetizing that oneness within you, taking ownership of your vision, sure, the head, the ego, will always come up with some sort of obstacle. The most important thing is coming back down, feeling your vision, not giving up, not giving up, not giving up. Knowing that that is your calling. It is your drive. It is your mission. It is your vision. You're inspired by it, and you get motivated. And it's your passion. So notice those things that stop you because they're just a head job. That's all they are. It's your head lying to you again. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, look at him. Oh, he thinks he's so great. Oh, look at her. Well, you know, I don't know what she's talking about. I couldn't. All you're doing is talking to yourself because what you're doing is saying, I'm not so great.
So Laurina, when people are, you have a tremendous amount of knowledge when it comes to the modalities.
Yes.
And you teach so many, because we've talked about these over the phone. Now they've got it. What can you tell them? We're not going to be able to go through an activity, but give them a really great modality that they can take away to help them to establish that strength and courage going after their calling.
Okay, there is one exercise that we can do. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. There's a ton of energy that comes out of your hands. Okay, I don't know if you've ever felt it, but usually right in the palm. So what I'd like everybody to do is take this palm and put it on top of the other hand and place it on your heart chakra. Now, words have vibrations to them. They're just not head games, okay? They're just not concepts. They have a vibration. And I want you to feel that vibration. So I want everybody to repeat after me. I love my vision. And I don't care if you know what it is or you don't know what it is. What you're doing is tapping into source energy. The greatest energy that ever exists is love. So you're tapping into that love, that source energy. So everybody put their hands up there. Okay, great. And repeat after me. Ready? I love my vision. And feel it again. Again. I love my vision. Keep feeling. Put all of your energy right there into your heart. That is your engine. Whatever you put in your heart, it's got 5 times more energy than your head would ever have. It also has 5 times more intellect than your head would ever have. So keep feeling it. And one more time. I love my vision. Really feel it. Feel the vibration. Now you're talking. Now you're allowing Source to work through you. Because that's all Source wants to do, is to be able to give you what you want, to manifest your vision, to really feel it, to reconnect with it. Because you've got it on the inside. It's all an inside job. Everything that you do is inside. Trust your God inside. Any other questions?
Thank you, Laurina. Can we give Laurina a round of applause? She's really, truly a very polished, trained, transformational teacher, and I thank her for sharing her time today. Thank you. She makes it effortless, like everybody today. Did you get something? I know you did, because I could feel it. I love everything that's happening in the room today.